George Jordak has replied to this remark in his book Al-Imam Ali, in the chapter of Muawiyah and his successors. We reproduce below a portion of that book. On one hand, Muawiyah was so kind that he granted Egypt and its inhabitants to Amr ibn As, and on the other hand he was cruel that he even took away the right of Egypt and the Egyptians to live. If this could be called kindness, then every murder is kindness. When a person studies Muawiyah's policies carefully, he will be stunned to find what means he employed to persecute the people. Murder, plunder, and terrorism formed his basic policy, and making attractive promises and administering threats were also parts of it. It also includes the murder of good and innocent persons, holding rogues and criminals in esteem, false propaganda, and seeking assistance from people of bad character. Abu Sufyan's nature had a great influence on the character of Muawiyah. In the same way his disposition had deep imprints of his mother, Hind. Thus, both played an important role in molding his nature and habits. Muawiyah's services to the Shia faith, building their arguments with Quranic verses and numerous sayings of the Prophet. Shias believe that love and obedience to all al-Bayt of the Prophet is obligatory and it is necessary to dissociate from their enemies. Shia scholars have written countless books about the virtues of this family. But the Quran, the traditions, and the books written for the propagation of Shia faith are not as effective as the policies of Muawiyah, which became the cause of publicity and strengthening of Shia faith. The crimes of Bani Umayyah were more effective than the thousands of books and proved more effective in proving the rightfulness of Amir al-Mu'minin than thousands of arguments. In proving the facts, rational and scholarly writings are not as effective as historical events. It is because historical events are like experiments, whose results are undeniable. During the time of Muawiyah, many events took place which proved he was a worldly-minded person, while Imam Ali was a religious personality. There is an old proverb saying that good can be better perceived by comparing it with evil. Muawiyah said, "I fought in order to rule over Kufa and to take over their wealth, and it was not for prayer and fasting." Compare this with the statement of Imam Ali, to see the manifest reality. The Imam once pointed to his shoe and told Ibn Abbas, "In my view, this shoe is better than rulership, except that I should protect a right, deliver it to one who deserves it, and should restrain from falsehood." Muawiyah decided to erase the name of Imam Ali and his descendants from the minds of the people, and to invite them towards attachment to Uthman and alliance with Bani Umayyah. To achieve this, he killed and persecuted them and considered it to be his political acumen and expertise. However, this policy produced a result that was opposed to what he desired, and that era had passed. Today, the name of Bani Umayyah has become a symbol of injustice, corruption, treachery, murder, and pillage. Whereas the name of Imam Ali is the icon of guidance, truth, and protection of the oppressed. Abdullah ibn Urwa ibn Zubair told his son, "Pay attention to faith, for whatever the world constructs is destroyed by faith, but when faith is made the foundation, the world cannot destroy it." Just look at Ali ibn Abi Talib. Whatever Bani Umayyah said to vilify him caused him to become more popular. By Allah, the weeping of Bani Umayyah for their dead and the reciting of elegies by poets were nothing but mourning for decayed corpse. Dr. Taha Hussein writes in Ali wa Banuhi, "Nothing promotes the views of the opponents of despotism and prompts people to embrace their thinking as despotism itself does, because despotism automatically makes the people inclined to the oppressed and makes them take up their cause. Views attract the people profoundly to themselves and acquire greater strength as against the crimes of the despots. And in the end, the views come out victorious." In light of the above discussion, during the 10 years of Muawiyah's rule, Shias spread their religious beliefs all over the Islamic territories. When Muawiyah died, all the inhabitants of Iraq and the majority of Muslims in general were inimical to Bani Umayyah and loyal to Ali and his descendants. Of course, the Shia faith consists of support for all al-Bayt, and enmity against Bani Umayyah and its foundation was laid by Muawiyah. By employing means to annihilate the Shia faith, Muawiyah himself helped the spread of the Shia faith all over the country. Muawiyah left the world, but the Shia faith and family of Ali continued to exist. And inshallah will exist forever. If thankfulness for injustice were allowed, we would have been thankful for those crimes by Muawiyah ibn Hind that became the means of advancement of the Shia faith. Who is responsible for disunity among Muslims? Keeping in mind the policy of Muawiyah regarding the Shias, we ask. Who is responsible for disunity among Muslims? Who caused the Muslims to be divided into Shia and Sunni? Was it the Shias, or distinguished persons of Ahlul Sunnah, or the unjust rulers, who suppressed the freedom of people, considered their bloodshed lawful and laid the foundation of oppression, for the despotic rulers coming after them, against the al-Bayt and their followers, who started the cursing and slandering of the companions of the Holy Prophet from the pulpits? Whose policy was it that, being in power, prescribed the cursing of His Eminence, Ali, until the children grew up until grown-ups became old? Who gave abundant rewards and wealth to those who used abusive language and curses? Who killed or exiled those who refused to curse? Who filled every portion of the earth with terror and fear? Did Shias commit all these crimes? And let not hatred of a people incite you not to act equitably. Act equitably. That is nearer to piety 5:8. It can be innocently said, we should not get involved in these conflicts and these discussions. Why should we discuss the deeds of the dead when even their bones have been reduced to dust? We discuss those who are alive and cooperate with one another. We say in reply, true, we should let the dead remain buried and should become united and cooperate with one another. But the problem is that the traces of the crimes of the decayed bones is still present in the hearts of some people and manifest their effects, and arguments are adduced from what they said. It is strange that those who follow these decayed bones talk about unity, cooperation, and brotherhood only when they have no argument to put forward. However, when they get a chance to attack the Shias, they forget unity and cooperation. Cooperation and unity mean that people should work for the benefit of one another. However, if the intention is to safeguard one's personal interests, it is not unity and cooperation. It is enmity and short-sightedness. Yazid's actions. If Muawiyah were alive during the 3 years of Yazid's rule, he would have praised his son's achievements. During the first year, he killed Imam Husayn, the grandson of the Holy Prophet severed the heads of his children and friends, and made his women prisoners. During the second year, he permitted his soldiers to do in Medina whatever they liked. As a result, more than 1,000 virgins were defiled and 1,000 persons killed, including 700 companions of the Prophet. In the third year, he attacked the Kaaba with catapults. If Muawiyah had been alive and seen these crimes of his son, he would have kissed his forehead and said, "You are really my son." Yazid did not stop at these crimes in Karbala, Medina, and Mecca. 16 He appointed Ubaydullah ibn Ziyad as governor of Kufa so that he might repeat the atrocities committed by his father in respect of the Shias. Ibn Ziyad imprisoned, exiled, killed and hanged the people, or cut off their limbs. He said to Mitham, a disciple and friend of Imam Ali, "You must express hatred against Ali. If you don't, I shall cut off your hands and feet and crucify you." In reply to this threat, Mitham praised Imam Ali, and cursed Ibn Ziyad and Bani Umayyah. Ibn Ziyad cut off his hands, feet and tongue and hanged him to death. What crime could be greater than that of Ibn Ziyad's? He wrote to Ibn Sa'd in connection with the battle of Karbala, "Besiege Husayn so that you may kill him and his companions and cut up his body into pieces because he deserves to be killed. When you have killed Husayn, make the horses trample his body, because he is an oppressive person. I know that to make horses trample the body of a person after his death is of no use. However, I have vowed that if I kill him, I will treat him thus. If you carry out my orders you should know that I reward those who are obedient to me, and if you cannot, hand over the command to Shimr ibn Zil-Jashan. I have given him the necessary instructions." The instructions given by him to Shimr ibn Zil-Jashan included, in addition to killing Imam Husayn, eliminate